Hello, this is Ben Colton from Neverworld, and you are listening to According to Metal! Thank you.
So, Biv, I don't know if this is cool or creepy or both, and I'm leaning more towards creepy, and I have a feeling you're going to lean towards it as well. And this has to do with metal in a weird way. Follow me. And speaking of follow me, like, I just feel that, like, technology as a whole is awesome. But as much as it can help, I also feel that it can cripple and it can do more harm than good, especially with how connected we are to our devices and things are nowadays. You almost have to treat it like fire. Because, I mean, fire can heat your house, fire can cook your food, but fire can burn you, and fire can burn your house down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you have to have it under control. And, you know, even my son, who is, you're 74, but and you may find this interesting as someone who's 74 years old, my son, who's 13, even feels like some of the Alexa and Google Home stuff is just kind of creepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
like,
you know, and you would think like that would be the kind of kid who'd be like, oh, dude, that's cool. Even he's kind of creeped out by it. And so am I. Like, I don't want one in my house because I don't know. Call me.
All it's going to do is gather data and they're going to use it to sell to the highest bidder. That's what they're going to do.
Well, and there's been like court cases already where, like in Arkansas, there was a murder where somebody was like killed in a hot tub, and the court tried to go after Amazon to give them the recorded audio that Alexa would have heard. And they weren't successful in doing that, but as often as like people are hacked or who knows, you know what I mean? I mean, iCloud was hacked. How many like porn pictures got out from like famous celebrities like a year and a half, 2 years ago? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's eventually...
Hang on, were there any of Jennifer Aniston? Because I need to Google that shit right
there
now.
There probably was. I know that there was a lot of pictures that got out there that people were like, oh, dude, that was on the iCloud, and somehow that got hacked into. And I think Apple kind of, for the most part, you would think would have their shit together, and even they were susceptible to somebody getting that information. And that's just out there in the public, let alone governments or whatever. I'm not trying to be tinfoil hat or helicopter, black helicopter guy. I'm just throwing it out there. But the reason why I said this is metal related, but not really, and you may find this funny or creepy or both. I don't know which one, and I'm curious what those who are listening think as well. As much as I'd like to say, and Biv would like to say that this is our day job, that we do this for a living and we get paid lots of money to talk news, reviews, interviews, and all things metal with you, that's not true. We don't get paid. We get paid $0.00. I just did my taxes, and I can tell you that the revenue from According to Metal was $0.00.
Well, actually, we lost money if you really want to think about it.
That's true.
Because,
well, equipment and advertising and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sure.
And it is what it is. That's fine. We're not bitching.
And that's fine. Yeah, exactly.
So, Biv, you know this. The listeners don't. But, I found myself around this time last year, a little bit earlier, out of a job, looking for a different job. And, you register on, job websites, monster.com, and beyond.com is another big one nowadays, too. And many of you, have probably heard of it before. But, you go on there, you put your resume out there, just like a lot of other sites where they'll kind of send jobs to you that you think that you'd fall into, that whole thing. A lot of people do it, right? I have, over the last, 2 months, I get constant emails. Now, Biv, you know this. The listeners may not. The last thing I do or have done is work a manual labor job. Not even close, okay? I cannot tell you how many times a week I get an email saying that they are looking for people who work with metal in my community. Like welders.
Now, like 80s metal? Or
no,
like
just metal, metal. And it's like metal jobs, metal this, metal that, welding, working metal. And I'm just reading all these job descriptions. They all have to do with metal. I've never applied for anything at all, even remotely close. And by the way, I'm not getting job offers for or job opportunities that are out there for something that has nothing to do with it. But
like a metal DJ.
Right. None of that.
Yeah.
It's all metal. And I'm just sitting here going, now, wait a minute. Like, I've never applied for such a job. The only way this is possible is because on my phone constantly, I'm typing in the word metal. Whether I'm searching for it, looking for news, looking for reviews, looking for, you know what I'm saying?
Is this why I constantly get messages for like gay midget porn?
Well,
is that why?
Absolutely. It has to be something to do with.
There you go.
Here's the thing. Like, I get it. Like, if I was on Amazon and then I go to a website and there's this little Amazon thing that pops on the side of the screen that says, hey, you want to continue looking at the staple gun you were looking at? I get that. But I've never once in my life looked for anything metal related. And so the only thing I can think of is Beyond.com or however this is working is looking at words that I look for and trying to assume that that's an interest of mine and try to get me a job in that field.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I can't decide if that's, well,
That's
actually I can, that's creepy as shit, isn't it? I mean,
Well, it is, and I've noticed the same recently in that, like if I look at, like, as you know, I'm looking at retirement property. I have been for, several years now. And so I'll be, say, on Drudge Report or any other website, and all of a sudden, the same website I looked at 2 months ago pops up as an ad.
Yeah.
Like, hey, and I just find that to be intrusive, actually.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
what you're talking about even takes it a step further, because now it's not even advertising what you looked for.
Right. It's just looking at words that I've typed in my phone. That's the only way. That's the only way it would know this.
Right, that's creepy.
It's creepy as hell, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think that's, is technology a cool thing and you embrace it 100% and you have no concerns? Like, hey, the more the merrier, the more cool shit that's out there, give it to me, gimme, gimme, gimme. Or does something like this give you some pause and make you go, what the hell's up with that? Because that's taking it a little too far. Curious what you guys think. I think it's creepy. Biv does as well.